it's okay. We're just gonna jump into no nitty gritty for him. Gabe is already nervous.
Just get right to it.
You just gotta rip the Band-Aid off with Gabe.
A little bit.
Just rip the Band-Aid off. That's gotta rip the Band-Aid off.
Coast. All my niggas we coastin'. High grade we smoking. On the highway we rollin'. Crackin' bottle we toastin'.
Welcome to Weed and Whiskey Podcast. Best motherfucking podcast straight coming straight. Damn, hold up. Shot time. One more time.
You're right.
Welcome to Weed and Whiskey Podcast, the best motherfucking podcast coming straight from Connecticut. If you didn't know, you know already, man. We've been doing this for fucking 4 years straight.
They already know.
You know how good we are? We make people who are uncomfortable in front of the camera come in front of the camera.
Yeah.
No Diddy. That's all I'm going to say.
I wasn't going to say. That's
all I'm going to say.
Bro, do your thing.
We are so great right now that everybody wants to be hired right now. And honestly, I'm actually happy and proud to be the voice, the platform to give this man a voice.
I'm flattered to be
because
honest.
Seriously.
Highly flattered.
I just feel like right now I'm on a cloud that I've never floated on before. And I floated on a lot of clouds before, dog. On some real shit. I feel honored for this one. This man has been building a community web for years now. The network that he's been building over the years, it's hard to imagine how huge this web is. He's building a community, a family, and everybody underneath each other to help each other grow.
You know what's crazy about that also? He's the reason why we ended up in Philly.
Honestly, he's the reason why we ended up in a lot of places. He opened up doors for us specifically as well, too. So this is not just seen from the outside. This is being a result of everything that for the guidance he gave us as well too. So I'm proud to have the owner of 881 Grab and Go. There you go.
Listen, man. You want to take another shot? I mean, you want to get comfortable, you know what I mean?
Easy loser. Well, we say co-owner. This is me and my lovely wife. And my daughter. So it's a family thing. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the idea for the restaurant, for it to be like a family thing, and it started there?
I mean, we all started somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But back in Philly, it's just like you look for connections, look for resources, right? At the end of the day, you could either hustle somebody or you could be a resource.
Facts.
You know what I mean? If you hustle somebody, you get one dip. If you're a resource, now people keep coming back to you.
Facts.
So being a resource, keep your mouth shut, stay out of the way. They come back to you because you're not looking for no shine.
Facts.
You know, I had a real argument with a close friend of mine, right? And I ain't gonna lie, he sold me some weed, but he sold me it he tried to sell it to me at top dollar price, and I know what he got it for, right? But it's like I'm like, yo, you don't hustle your friends. Because it's one thing to have a business, right? And you sell your friend a product or, you know, you do something for your friend. But when you're hustling your friend, when you know, all right, man, this is my boy. He gonna keep coming back to me. Why am I gonna get this one sell off of him more and damage the potential of a relationship than just to have, to continue it on?
I think that's something you just That's a thing you just bring to everybody, not just your friends. Because I feel like being a business person who has longevity, it's about doing right by your entire clientele. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, I feel absolutely. I mean, that's how let's just keep it a buck. That's how this whole thing with me started. Coming out from Philly to Connecticut, just being a resource, keep my mouth shut, stay out of the way. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? You don't want no shine, you don't want no light, because what you want that for? You know what I'm saying? It fades, it goes away. It's like oil on the top of a barrel where it burns off and it's gone.
I mean, but they say the more you shine, the more you can help other people shine brighter.
I can understand that for some, but not for me.
But it's kind of like the idea of you should drink from the same well you're trying to get people to drink from as well, too, because you got to be able to rejuvenate yourself in order to have the energy to keep teaching and passing on to other people.
I think that comes when you look in the eyes of somebody you actually changed. So when you change them, you look in their eyes like, you know, the young bulls when they come back here. Like, I mean, out here, I've known a lot of these entrepreneurs and movers and business owners, and I've known them since they was 13, 14 years old.
So how did you get into, like, the food business specifically? Like, what made you
I've been in the food business since I was a young buck. I used to do dishes when I was 10 years old from Uncle. I used to be in this little back kitchen, and it was real nasty. The name of the place was Ellen Rose, and God bless my uncle.
Philly?
Yeah, in Philly. And he was a chef. My favorite meal, he used to make this chicken cutlet with like red sauce and white sauce. This is my favorite meal, dog, straight up. And I used to be in the back washing dishes. And they was disrespectful back then in Philly. And they used to just throw pots and pans back. It got better. It did get better. It modernized. As you get older, it gets better because you're going to run your mouth. So when I'm younger, I ain't going to say nothing. I'm just a young boy. I'm like 10, 11 years old doing dishes. Making like a little $5 an hour, but I know I'm gonna get a meal, and I know how long it takes to clear this sink of dishes. You know what I'm saying? So my uncle used to always call me down, go wash some dishes. You know what I'm saying? I knew how long it take to fill the sink, so they throw pots and pans in there. I'm like, I don't care. I just think, that's $10 right there. So it started back then. So
you started at the entry level pretty much.
Yeah, this restaurant thing started a long time ago.
So what kept your love for it?
My wife. Shit, we was moving out here from Philly. We knew it was expensive coming out here. You know
Philly expensive too.
No, dog.
Dog, get your car towed in Philly. I bet you regret it.
No, dog. I understand. Here's what I'm gonna say. Philly, you could hustle. Out here, you got to get it from the muscle. Like Philly, you could hustle something. You get a little connect, you know what I mean? But now Philly's getting expensive. But back then, this place was expensive.
It's
at
always been expensive.
$15.65 for minimum, $15.69 minimum wage. Philly minimum wage is $7 and some change still. So you still gonna get something like you go to 9th Street, you can come up on like a big old joint of strawberries for like $1.75.
Damn.
Out here you paying $17.25. So it's just like it's a difference. So she went to she had got this bartending book, and she ain't never did nothing with it. I was like, give me that thing, man. And I started reading the book. Then I went to bartending school. I said, ooh, I could do this.
Okay.
So I started bartending at Red Lobster back in Philly on Baltimore Turnpike. And it used to be a popular joint back then. Red Lobster ain't really doing what it's doing right now, but it was popular back then. It was like really popular. And then the lady who used to train me was this cokehead white lady.
But she was nice though, wasn't she?
She was nice with it. But the first
when the crackhead is good at something, they good at something.
The first 3 weeks, she ain't give me no tips. And that's just how I learned it. But she was really good at training me how to be a bartender. So that's where it got me back into it, because I was doing youth work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Start bartending, came out here, start bartending. Bartended at Red Lobster out here. Then went to Dakota out here. Then all of a sudden I got the job at Low Country, which was like the old head, but like bougie, like if you knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, they was at Low Country.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the
owners, it
like
was 4 owners who was like bosses. Like they owned companies, they were CEOs and executives.
They just friends, so they got this bar together.
And it was, I'm telling you, Low Country was a vibe back then. I mean, it was a vibe. DJ Super Joe.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Super Joe.
That's where
I'm fucking Super Joe.
But that's where I started, like, really bartending. And that's where I really understood Connecticut. And then this dude, Hugh Russell, didn't even know who he was.
So that's where the connection with Hugh started.
Yeah, that's where I guess he was coming and checking me.
Okay.
I don't know who looking at me. I'm
You're just
keeping
doing your
my
thing.
head down, trying to make this bread because I got a baby. You know what I'm saying? It's like I need some bread. I need some money. But Low Country was the vibe, yo. Like it was a vibe. Like that was back in the days. It was a vibe, dog. Like, and who was somebody was in Low Country. Like you cut business deals in Low Country. Like at the end of the day, you cut business deals. So that's where I met Hugh. And I remember some years later, it was funny. He was like, I got this great project. It's just amazing, and you're just gonna love it, and I just need you with me. And then from there, it was just like, that was my man's $50,000. Like he took me under his wing. He trusted me with everything. So that's what started me in this whole joint as a bartender. I used to bartend everywhere. Like I had 2 lives. Let's just keep it a buck. I worked with the young boys in the daytime, and then I had the bartending life. So I would see a lot of cats at nighttime that I would see at the daytime and be like, don't talk to me because you know I'm not talking. So don't come up to me and be friendly because you know what I know. So just leave it alone.
To be fair, I feel like every bartender have 2 lives.
This one was
unless you just live a wild lifestyle, right? Because to me, you have to have a different personality when it comes to working in a bar.
No, dog, I think that thing blended nowadays. It's a different bartender. Like when I bartended, it was different. Like back in the day, I know I'm old head, but it was different. Like it was about service. Like I had little bar tricks, dog. Like I had tricks and riddles and like I had all kinds of stuff to try to get that bread. Like I want you to sit here and get another drink. Figure this riddle out.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was a kid, before I was 21, right? I used to think when you go to the bar, that's what they would do. Now they just be throwing drinks at you. He's like, yo, here, take this. Bye.
No flair. They don't flip the napkin.
Only movies now.
Nothing. They don't take the little overproof rum and blow fire like nothing. They just like they don't even mix your drink up, dog.
If you blow overproof rum, I'm not coming to your bar. I'm not. Wait, why?
I just said something. All
right, well, skip that. Skip that. Yeah, if you spitting fire, I don't know if I could be next to you. Do that down there.
It's a whole. The fire joint, as they call it, like a flare. It's what it is. Like if I'm bartending at Albert's Lakeside. See, only old heads who's listening to this podcast know what I'm talking about. My young boys won't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're like, Albert's, what's that? Yeah, Albert's Lakeside was Mike. When I got put on at Low Country, I got put on. So Jay Wills, which is my mentor, who was the CEO of the Urban League, he came from Philly. I used to call him Duke Ellington, but Jay Wills was that dude. He was that dude out here. You know what I'm saying? So it was like he put me on to people. Mm-hmm. And so slowly from him and Hugh, I get put on the mic and Wicked Productions with Jay and DJ London, God rest his soul, and Trey, God rest his soul. I'm bartending for them. Then I get put on the Magic. You know what I'm saying? I'm at Trios bartending the Magic with the Spanish people. You know what I'm saying? I get put on to a lot of people because now I'm out here hustling, like really doing what I want to do. And I don't want no attention. I just want to make you better. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to learn and make you better. So that was my whole thing. I want to make you better, and I don't need no spotlight. I'm gonna clean underneath the joint. I'm gonna keep myself busy all day. I'm gonna go over there and do everything you need to be done because I'm gonna look at it like I'm protecting you and I got your back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was, like a loyalty thing. You know what I'm saying? So getting close to the bosses, because they say you keep those around you that you want to be. You don't keep no suckers around you. So I never wanted to swim in low waters. You know what I'm saying?
With that being said, like, you met Hugh, history was made, you're here now. What makes you want to change the name from the Russell Grab and Go to 881 Grab and Go?
Hold on, can I interrupt that real quick? We're gonna get back to that question. Did you when he opened up here, right? Were you there?
So here's the thing.
There's a specific reason why I'm asking you this.
So ask your specifics. So
okay,
first.
But were you?
Ask your specifics.
All right. So one day, right, I get a call from my dad, and he goes, "Get up and get good clothes on right now." And I'm like, "What?" It's like 8 in the morning or something like that. And I put on some clothes, and I go down. He's like, "Yeah, just interviews." So he's bringing me an interview, and I interview this man, and I'm interviewing for a position in a bar. And it's a bar back. And to be honest with you, you're the reason, and I'm pretty sure you're the reason why I take interviews so seriously now. I had no experience at all, and I'm telling you this, and I'm just talking. And you're like, so what could you do? I'm just like, I could learn. And you're like, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This is gonna be a fast-paced environment, and you're not gonna cut it. And
he was waiting for this.
Yeah, that's serious. Word to my mother. I was waiting for this today. I was word to my mother. What? And I left that, and you told me straight up, like, you're not about to get hired. It's not even like, yo, we gonna call you. Nothing. It was
like I said, don't even wait.
Don't even worry about it.
Don't hold your breath.
He's like, you just. But the way you came at it wasn't like no disrespectful, nothing disrespectful, but it was very. It was like, yo, I'm gonna teach you a lesson right now. Like, I got you, but don't come here thinking you just about to get a job because you got connections, bro. It's not about to work like that.
Facts.
And I appreciate that so much from you. Just I wanted to let you know.
Well, I appreciate that because
I learned a lesson. My dad, man, don't come get me. Like, what am I doing right now? You want me to come interview for a position in a bar? I ain't never worked a bar a day in my life. But thank you.
Well, I appreciate. Well, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, once again, Hugh being Hugh, like, and that's why I really bangs with him. That's why he's my man. That's why I stay loyal to him because he's a visionary, and now he's just a visionary. The brother got passion.
Yeah.
Like, nobody knows how he started the Russell. Like, he sold everything. He was there every day. He used to write stuff on napkins. Like, his vision was just different. His passion and his commitment is different. And you see that in this man, and you're like, yo, this dude is different, yo. Like,
he wants something, he go get
and
it.
he's a happy dude. He's a positive dude. He's an inclusive dude. So just seeing that and being around that, and how long it took him to get the joint open. Somebody stole his car. This dude was riding a bike back and forth to the Russell to open the Russell when somebody stole his car and wouldn't let nothing bother him. This dude don't let nothing bother him. Nothing can get to this brother, man. He started out with like a pizza oven, a tabletop fryer, and a panini grill, and created a beautiful menu. And had the Russell getting people married, had people creating careers, lifestyles, and legacies for themselves and their family. You count the number of people that came through the Russell from when he started at 103 Pratt Street and where they are right now. They business owners, master's degrees, families, married. Like, he changed the paradigm and trajectory of families and legacies.
But that's why I was asking the question, like, and even with you saying that you're like, I know I'm not saying the question you care. I just generally want to know what made you say, all right, me and Hugh, we had a good run. Now it's time to really put my flair, my Philly flair into this, what we built. Like, what made you decide, like, this the pivot that's for me? And then pass me that drink. I'm going to take a shot.
to keep it
but
real.
I can't smoke, so I'm going to drink.
I don't know if you know, do you know what a remora fish is?
A remora fish?
A remora fish.
No.
You never heard of a remora fish?
No.
So you got like these big whales and sharks that swim in the ocean. That's Hugh. Hugh's a whale. You know what I'm saying? Magic's a whale. Mike's a whale. I was always a remora fish. So I'm just kind of like stuck to the belly of it.
You're talking about the suction cup fish.
Yeah, so I'm just stuck to them, just swimming. And I don't mind because, like I said, I stay out of the way. I don't mind doing that. But at some point, you got to just break off. You get what I'm saying? You just got to break off and just be like...
Become your own shark.
And just do your own thing, swim alone. Take the floaties off, take the training wheels off, and just do your own thing. Like, the man blessed me. Just think about it. You giving somebody your name. Like, you're giving somebody your brand, and I know how important that is.
I know how important that is to him, to his name. Yeah.
Like,
your name.
I mean, whatever, but yeah.
He built his name
from,
like, you want to talk about getting it from the mud. This man got it from the mud. Like, he trusted me with his name. Like, that's big to me. You know what I'm saying? He trusted me to represent him out here when everybody thought, like, you know, this is him. A small percentage of cats knew, understood, you know what I'm saying? But this was him. So I had to hold that down. Then eventually it's like, you know what? I'm just bouncing off the walls because it's a little adult onset ADHD that I keep having ideas, and I don't want to drive him crazy because I keep having ideas, and he's expanding. So he don't have time to sit down and be like, all right, let me sit down with this dude and
listen to all your ideas.
Listen to all my ideas. It's like, at one point, my wife told me, listen, man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
But that's, to me, that's more of a reflection of knowing yourself. Because you know how you are. I don't know, like, to me, sometimes we know when we feel like we're complacent when it comes to our ideas.
Yeah, because we was flexing that menu for a minute. I ain't gonna hold you.
I know, because every minute you was like, there was something being added to the menu, like, every single time. And that's what I respect about the location more too, because it had its own flair to it.
Yeah, because it's different from the others.
Yeah, you're never going to get the things that you can get in East Hartford or even at the other Russells as well, too. So, to me, this location was already you to start off with anyway. I feel like once you came in here, anybody who knew you or got to know you, they understand how much this location really means to you. So, I don't know. Me personally, I'm happy to see the name change. I like the growth that's coming for it because to me, it's like a new beginning. And I love new beginnings.
I received that. I see it as like a situation like me and my wife had talked about like going to Philly pre-pandemic. Like, yeah, we're going to go to Philly and we're going to open a Russell in Philly because it just makes sense, a bigger market. Then the pandemic hit and Philly just got bananas. Just, it was crazy. It's like, nah, I ain't going back home. I'll visit. But I ain't going back home because I was going back home for 7 years doing a youth program every other Friday. Leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, pull up at King High School, do freshman seminar, like 100-something freshmen, then do an afternoon class downstairs. We doing like youth development, youth enrichment. We would do like 3 conferences a year. We would do a cookout every year. Like, we really adopted King High School for 7 years, and it was me and my homies from college, from Cheney. Did that for 7 years, and I'm like, yeah, I want to come home. But the pandemic hit, and I was like, nah, I'm straight, dog. I'm going to stay here.
It's too risky?
I don't know if it's too risky, but it's just like, the climate and the culture where Philadelphia is now, if you don't live there, it's like you don't understand the place.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I understand that because we went there, and I was shocked how fast things can change.
Oh my God.
But I made some dope connections. Like y'all went, the bull.
I love the connections that you put us down there. With
Knight's Gym, like
yes, Knight's Gym.
Nomo,
I love
like,
that connection.
Nomo was a big organization. Like I met the bull Ricky Duncan when I was down there. Dude, do this organization called Nomo. When I met him down there, he was ambitious. Mm-hmm. He knew what he wanted. Mm-hmm. Now that dude is killing youth development in the city. And it's a bad way to put it, but he's really doing that work. He got 3 locations, like serving thousands of young folk, like really doing the work.
Philly, honestly, I feel like everybody you put us in contact with in Philly are doing something positive for the community.
Yeah.
And that's what I love seeing as well, too, because it's like Philly on a social media status, like it gets not always the positive look to it. So the fact that we can go there and meet these people who are older than us, who are making these milestones within the community, it was a great look for us, because to leave where we grew up and to be like, oh, there's people who are putting their money where their mouth is.
It just goes back to what I said as being a resource. Like if you're a resource, like I said, when I grew up, I was broke, I was poor. Like you did everything for survival. I need a meal. I need a place to lay my neck. I need somewhere to go. It's just survival, dog. I got to get with you because I need to survive. I need a meal. I need to lay my neck somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm a resource, once again, like you said with your homie, if I'm a resource to you, you allow me to lay my neck more than one night. But if I just try to hustle you, get in your crib, steal you, now I got to find another spot.
Exactly. Now you worrying about where you're going to stay next.
So the people, like I say, it's this web. And this spider web doctrine came to me from a brother, Stack, from Supreme. He showed me the book Capitalist Nigga. So you read the book Capitalist Nigga, it talks about the spider web doctrine. And the spider web doctrine says how we can keep about using our community to keep ourselves within ourselves. Like I sit here and cats be like, oh, Harford don't support nobody. I don't know where y'all at.
That's a lie.
I sit in this restaurant right here and I look at Seek Therapy. I still look at Your Oasis. I look at Mother's Moss. I look at Zone Zion. I look at the Enlightened Candles. I look at Rins.
There's
I
a
look
lot
at
of businesses in this.
Exactly.
there's all these businesses we used. M&P, environmental. Like, and then I also look at Oddity Commodity. I look at my vegan list. I look at so many. What were you saying, beautiful? Perfect pound cake, right slice of cheesecake, Whisk by Danny. Like, we can just keep going on, and that's the web. Like, even if it's just a cookies on the counter, it's promoting your business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I see that walking in here. Then I see all the young bulls that I knew when they was younger. And that's why when you say what you say, I never disrespected youngins when I was out here doing my work. I never talked to them like they was. I knew that one day they would be grown.
And that's why when I said that, I had to make sure I said that to you. Like, yo, I know it wasn't coming from a place of like, yo, get the fuck out of my face. It was coming from a place like, yo, I'm about to tell you something right now that's probably going to be good for you.
Right.
When he opened Pure, he came to me on some. Once again, it's you. I have this amazing idea. There's something I want to get done. It's just going to be Hartford is not going to know what's hitting it, and it was because we developed Pure. Pure was dope, but I knew when we did Pure, because before Pure, I forget what the name of the joint was right across the street from Low Country. They had another joint, Emperor. The Emperor had beds downstairs and everything, but the management was bad. So when I did Pure and he had me running Pure for him, that's when I met a lot of the youngins that I knew for a while. Did I rub them the wrong way? Yeah, I did. But was it malicious? No. Because it was business. That's why most of the time what we did was business. Everything was on paper. You looked at me face to face. You signed this paperwork. We stayed to the word. We stayed to business because it was a black business. This was business. Like, it was about respect. You respect me, I respect you. It's business. You know what I'm saying? You had people in there coming through and coming out. Like, we had the first function for the brother who is doing amazing things now with what's the bull name? Cash. He's got the juice bars everywhere.
Okay,
that's what his first function was when Groove did it. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of people who came through there doing functions, and I didn't even know all these cats. But for Hugh, my job was to protect him. So it was to protect the business. Once again, being a resource. How do I protect this business? And how do I, at the same time, I educate people? Like, myself and them at the same time, like, this is what paperwork is. This is what documentation is. This is how you stated your word. This is how you do business. It's not just a handshake and I believe you, but it's business.
Yeah, I have to make sure that when I say this to you, you understand the severity of the situation. Like, I'm not about to, like, if, like, at that moment, no, not even that moment. In the reflection of it, I said to myself, I'm like, well, what if I did get hired and I fucked something up really badly? Or I prevented things from going further because I was just getting just an opportunity from a handout. And that's how I looked at it. And when you navigate situations, right, are you looking at it for strictly business, or do you use that web and put personal relationships in it as well?
I mean, it's obviously a balance. Life is balanced, so it's both. But it's having discernment, being able to figure out what makes sense. Of course, I'm leading a lot of times with business and making these business decisions, as Splash would say, that's my brand. That's what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the way I operate because the background I come from. So it's business. Most things become a transaction until they become a relationship. Enough transactions turns into a relationship. I don't care who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But you have enough transactions with somebody, you're gonna start asking them how's your family.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
How's the kids?
How's the kids?
Yeah.
So it's a business first. But then when the business turns into something else, and that's what usually happens, like from Pure, those business transactions turn into relationships now. So like a lot of folks, like some cats I ain't even like, I ain't gonna hold you. But it was business, so that had nothing to do with me liking you or not.
It didn't make a difference.
And then as a man, I had to turn around and be like, you know what, I apologize back then for treating you this way or acting like this way, but this is why I act this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it was. So having the ability to have some kind of contrition and be like, all right, you know, I received my point, but I still stood on this.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to talk about Harford culture for a minute, or just around here, right? You've seen it because around that time, it was kind of busy going. It was kind of a lot of things going for at least a downtown area, right? What the biggest change that I've seen is just it's dead now. There's nothing down there. What have you seen?
It's dead because of the inability for people to understand the necessity to support and to connect with each other.
Oh, you're going to have to explain that because that was a that was a thought right there.
At the end of the day, right, how many gas stations do you go to in a week?
How many?
How many would you go to in a week?
Maybe three.
Maybe. Same one all the time?
Yeah, same three. It'd be the same three.
And if you're driving, do you wait till you can get to that same gas station again?
Most of the time.
Most of the time? All the time? No.
Not all the time.
But there's three. And sometimes you flight to another joint, right?
If I see low prices, I might be like, all right,
you're going to stop.
I'm going to stop.
But 9 times out of 10, it's in your route and it's convenient. And then I think that's what most people don't understand. There's a route and there's convenience. I don't need to compete with you as long as I'm creative. And I think that a lot of times downtown, people think that they have to compete with each other. Just be more creative. And if you collaborate with each other, you're so small-minded, not saying per se you are you, but the idea or the overarching idea behind the concept is you're so small-minded that you're looking at just Harford. Why are you looking at Harford? Don't people have cars? Don't people have transportation, Uber, Lyft? So why are you just looking at Harford when you got Springfield, you got New Haven, you got Bridgeport, you got... Why are you looking at one entity? If all of y'all combine downtown and you pull people from Waterbury, from Bridgeport, from New Haven, from Springfield, from you pull people from everywhere, all y'all gonna eat. You can't put everybody in Hartford in your spot. So why are you battling with the dude next to you? It's that competition thing for no reason when there's enough bread out here. Like, you know, the current landscape will make you think there's no bread, there's no money. But yet these supporters done gave this dude $100 million in 48 hours. So there's money. So they the same ones saying, oh, this economy and I'm broke and I ain't got this. But every time something happened with the boy, you dropping some bread on him. And he making meal. So he making a bag. So out here, there's money to be made. I know that. I bring the boy Cheesecake Man out here. Love that dude.
He made money here.
It's not that he just made money.
No, because people support.
It's not that he just made money, but you got to think about the trajectory change. There's a difference in where his paradigm has shifted. When he was in Philly and I met him like a year ago, I didn't meet him, I saw him online. And I don't care about reaching out to somebody because if I got something, I'm gonna help you out. I wanna die empty. I don't need this when I go. You know what I'm saying? I wanna give whatever I got because what do I need it for? So I saw him online, got some cheesecakes for my family. He was hollering at me, yeah, I do DJ and I do this and that. There, I said, all right. I said, look, I'll bring you out to Harford if you want to. He thought I was bluffing. I saw him make a pivot to tacos. I said, yo, when you want to come out here? He said, this weekend. Literally. He came out that weekend and smashed Harford. Dude had 4,000 followers, left Harford a month, 2 months later, he's at 20.
Yeah.
And his grind is ridiculous. The brother goes to dialysis 3 days a week. Can you imagine sitting locked up for 4 hours?
Does he really?
Yeah. 3 days a week, he goes to dialysis for 4 hours. And he's still smiling.
And he still smile. That's the thing. Every time he's always smiling.
The brother has such a high spirit, and you get it. I need people like that. That's the web.
That's how you know you do what you love for real. Because even if you're going through everything in life, the thing is you could grind all day, you could work 12 hours a day. If you still do that with a smile, you really love what you do.
At the end of the day, this phrase, we gon' eat. We gonna eat.
Facts.
There's types of conflict, right? There's all these types of conflict, right? One of the conflicts is distributive, where it seems like there's not enough. So if I dropped a bag of chips in here for the three of us, is there enough for us to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we can all get a couple chips. It don't mean we satiate our hunger, but we all can get a couple chips, so we all can eat. And then move on to the next thing and find the next bag. So we all can eat. That's why I love when I see like Manifest, Survival, Pressure Department, like they know how to work together.
Fact, 1990 something.
Splash brings in his people with hoodies, goodies, and get rich or start.
And you're not stepping on no toes at the same time. Because that's a lot of people think. Like the word that people love to use even in this age is saturated. And honestly, it couldn't be far from. Because what I've been realized from doing this journey is there's a lot of people doing shit that's cool, that's true. Yes, somebody's going to be doing what you're doing. But the thing is, you know what isn't saturated? Good anything. Good content, good food, good anything. You're never going to be saturated with good anything. So as long as you're making the effort to feed people what's meaningful, it's never going to be saturated. People are always going to eat it up no matter what. So you'll always have to find your lane and always be true to what you're always giving. Because a lot of people be literally just regurgitating shit that they see online that is trending, and then they hop on that wave. It's nothing genuine in that. Like, why? Like, why are you going to sit here and give energy that was already given to the world?
It's the argument of quantity over quality.
But like, after a while, that's when you can bring up the argument of saturation, because now you're just focusing on quantity. You're losing the quality.
Yeah, you'll always lose.
And that's when people start saying things are saturated.
So, right, the four pillars of like discernment, right? Self-awareness, imagination, consciousness, and will, right? So self-awareness, the two of you have self-awareness. That's how you met. You have self-awareness. You know what you're capable of. You know the capacity of your vessel. You know the capacity of what you're doing, right? You have an imagination. I talked to you in the beginning of this. Like your imagination can stifle you. You have your conscious mind and your higher mind. Your conscious mind can build something, but your higher mind sees something that you just can't even fathom. So you allow your conscious,
you see it.
You allow your conscious mind to develop, and you let it go to the higher mind so it brings it forth. Like, y'all don't know how far this is going to go. I didn't watch y'all podcast, and I was like, I told him, I was like, yo, this thing done changed, dog. Like, this thing done changed. And it's because you had an imagination. Then the consciousness, I am aware, I'm here, I'm right now. I see what's going on. Things are in front of me, and I'm in this moment. It's like that mindfulness, but I'm conscientious, right? Am I washing the dishes to wash the dishes, or am I washing the dishes?
Am I in the moment?
Am I in the moment? And then the willpower. You have to have a will. Like, you know what I'm saying? It takes a willpower to do something. That's the movement. Because they say what? He says you're responsible. You're response-able. You're able to make the right response between something and your choice. There's a response. So in this, I see like somebody, you know, the bull pulled over across the street and somebody's like, oh, that's crazy how he did it. I said, we gonna eat. I said, he got an audience that I ain't never seen, and I got an audience that he ain't never seen. They gonna go over there and want some. They gonna go over there and want some pinchos, but they also gonna come over and want some empanadas. Or they might want to go over there and want some yamins, but we all gonna eat them. Like,
plus, it's not every day you're gonna fucking eat the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like Wednesday you might want this, but on Monday you're gonna want something completely different. Like, you should be able to have options.
And that's the thing that's about the web. That's what we love. What we do here. It's the web. We're inclusive, and we're inclusive. Like bringing Zone Zion in, she's a phenomenal vegan chef.
She's killing it right now too.
Now she comes in here every other Sunday, and she is like flourishing. Like, not only she uber talented, like, you know what I'm saying, she arts and crafts, like all kinds of stuff, like T-shirts, and then like phenomenal mom. But she comes in here and she kills it on Sundays. We're a platform. When we met Mizzle from Mike from Mother's Moss, when Splash put us on to him. The dude is in 29 different locations. The boy retired himself from his job. Like, we get to sit back and be like, yo.
That's what I love about the web even more too, because a lot of the entrepreneurs in that web, that is their only mode of hustle. That they put all their dice into that basket. And so to see them flourish in something like that, it's a beautiful look from the outside, because like I know I came back in the middle of a conversation, but from what you were saying, that there's money here, because a lot of the people that I know are not just 9-to-5 workers. They have their own business. A lot of people who have homes in Harford, they're business owners as well too. They're not just homeowners, they're business owners as well too, which means they know how to use their money and they spend it, which means you have to find ways for them to spend it with you.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people, when I actually retell them we still grinding outside of this, people are like, oh shit. Like, I see it a lot. People are like, oh, I thought this was y'all main thing. This is all y'all do. It's like, nah, man, we still getting it, but
without the grind, it wouldn't be this.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, without it,
you know what I mean?
I mean, everybody needs something. What they say, a life jacket.
Yes.
You need a life jacket.
Keep you afloat.
But listen, I respect the fact in this web you have different positions. You know what I'm saying? When you connect people, there's different positions, and that's why I think the web is just the most important thing. And some people think it's a joke. No, it's not cliche. It's not a joke. Like, it's serious. Like, once you really see it, once you realize it, you'll see how things happen. Like when Jovan and Smooth got together and did the joint at Exit, that thing was beautiful. And he said collaboration over competition. Me as an old head, I'm like, yo, that's dope. The Bull Styles from Exit, just him alone. Like, the Bull was out here for 3 years spending his bread. Not only is he spending his bread because the city was busting him in the head, he was supporting everybody out here. Just pure love to everybody out here, supporting everybody and doing it graciously. You know what I'm saying? So he proved what can happen, and Cats is proving what can happen when you combine instead of just paying attention to the noise. Too many people pay attention to the noise.
But it's been happening for a while now. Like, to me, I feel like Connecticut been making and just a lot of here been making a lot of accomplishments. That unity been there. I just feel like something controversial to say. I feel like societally speaking and generally speaking, we don't want to see unity. I think we like to talk about it more than we actually like to see it. Because if we have unity, we can't talk about having it no more.
I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. For me, my rebuttal to that would just be, I think more people just want them to get the support that, that
exactly. They're talking about unity for their own gain.
It's a selfishness. I get
exactly. It's not for everybody to win. They want people to come, because that's a lot of people. I'm just throwing some controversial thoughts out there. A lot of people like to say support black businesses just because they're a black business and they want support. But on the flip side, they themselves don't go out their way to support other black business.
Why do you suppose though?
Because one, I feel like, honestly, to be real, I don't have a real answer for that question.
I got you.
I'm being real because I feel like from speaking from my perspective, I feel like a lot of people are taking advantage of the fact that we're in an inflated society and inflating a lot of things that they do at prices that's not even worth it.
Go ahead. What does trauma manifest as though? When you traumatize, how does that manifest?
When you traumatize, what does it manifest?
When you traumatized, how does that manifest?
Doesn't that trauma manifest into more trauma?
You don't know how it's going to manifest. So if you're unable to, like, what they call it as a drum major instinct, everybody wants attention. Let's just not Let's not lie about it.
Of course, that's a human nature thing.
And Dr. King says if you can't harness it, it's going to be toxic. Now, there's a whole bunch of conversations about that on the left, but let's just stick with the main topic of the drum major instinct. Everybody loves attention. There's snobbish exclusivism, right? Which is I'm exclusive, right? And there's influence peddling, right? Let's black business support influence peddling. Let's support black business. If you're able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and understand, like reduce yourself, right? In a conflict and an argument that we have with each other, right? If I stay 100% in my stance, where am I making space for you to have room in my conversation? So if I'm constantly pushing at you and I don't make any room for you, are you gonna make room for me?
That makes sense.
You're not gonna make any room for me. So if I make room for you and allow you to say what you're gonna say, and I understand what you're saying, that most people feel like, you know what I mean, I support black business and they don't do it, make room for what the trauma could be in that. Where are they hurting?
That's why I tell a lot of people I don't count favors. I'll never count a favor because I won't do anything for you that I want to expect anything out of. Because if I do that, all I'm doing is putting myself in a worse position to think forward. Now I don't want to do favors for people because now I'm expecting people to return favors to me, and instead of just doing it out of kindness on my heart. So like you said, if you're gonna say like, fuck, where was I going? Black businesses, if somebody says, oh, well, they don't support black businesses, you gotta open your head up and just like, I'm just gonna support because I want to support, and not because I'm expecting other people to support me.
And that's why I feel like, to piggyback off what you're saying, me speaking awarely and from like a self perspective, I feel like I'm making that room for myself because, like you said, I don't support anybody when I can't, and I only support them when I know I can, but not with the intentions of them supporting me back. We all want support back, yes, of course, but I feel like as I try my best to make the first step, if that makes sense. Like I realize sometimes, to what I said, we only will support people that support us. So I try to put myself in the position of like, how would I get new support if I'm sitting here waiting for them to support me, knowing the whole time they have something that's going on? Because sometimes we just didn't come across the eyesight of other people and what they have going on as well too for them to even support you. Sometimes you didn't even find your right audience. Like there's so many factors that goes into why we don't get the support, and sometimes we're looking for support from our home, from our close friends. Me personally, I don't think our close friends is going to support us to the degree that we actually want them to.
But do you need them to?
No, I don't think you should expect them to in the first place, or you're never going to go as far as they do.
I think I think it's like a Christmas conundrum. Like most cats on Christmas, they go all out. Like, yo, I'm about to this and this and this, because the expectation is that somebody gonna do it for me. So I'm gonna get all these yamins, and then you do it this year, it don't happen. And the next year, it don't happen. And the next year, it don't happen. And now you've created this cycle, and now you already disenfranchised. So now you disenfranchised not only with that, you disenfranchised with the holiday, you're disenfranchised with, so it builds, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people intentionally say it and then don't support. I think there's a lot of things to unpack. It's an onion of emotions. There's a lot of layers to it that you'd have to unpack, and you just leave room. It's not that means that you have to overextend yourself and be like, yo, what's wrong? Let me talk to you, da-da-da-da. Because a lot of times something could be bothering you. You won't let your Ms. know. Something be bothering you, you're not going to let your mans know. And you're going to eat it. And you're going to eat it for a long time. So they're eating something for a long time that's just stewing inside of them. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to let it go because it feels comfortable.
That's their own personal thing, though. A lot of people have their own personal thing like they're going on. But that's the balance between society, because it's like, one thing I've been realizing, I don't know if this is a little off track or anything, but one thing I've been realizing is every argument we have is a losing argument when the mass is large enough. Like I've realized, no matter how you feel about something and how much it makes sense to you, once you're having that conversation with a large enough audience, there's going to be somebody there that's going to feel completely opposite of you. So for sitting here trying to please every single person, it's a losing game. it really is a losing game.
Arguments, period, to me are losing.
That's what I'm learning as I'm getting older.
Nobody wins an argument.
Exactly.
It's only how you comported yourself.
And it's just our egos just trying to take over certain things. At the end of the day, like even just building a relationship, I'm realizing like arguments don't get you nowhere.
No.
It don't.
It feel good though.
It feel good for a little bit.
Especially when you right.
For a little bit.
Oh my God, bro. Ooh.
It's something about anger that's a little bit intoxicating. You know, sometimes.
Me personally, I love anger. I love anger.
There's something about anger that's a little bit.
I'm balancing my anger with rage. Because I realize I watch a lot of anime, so I've learned like sometimes anger can be a fuel if you know how to channel it properly, which just is like every other emotion. Happiness can be a fuel if you know how to channel it properly. Because a lot of people get happy and they don't know what to do with themselves because they don't know how to be happy.
They do too much.
A lot of people only work in the darkness. So when they're finally in the light, they're scurry. They don't know what to do a little bit. So to me, anger is the same thing. A lot of people get angry and they get flustered. They don't get thrown off. They feel like, oh, I have to find positivity. I have to get out of this mind state. But sometimes I just look at it as like, fuck it. What can I change? What can I do to make my situation right now? Because to me, anger is my drive. I don't know. That's me personally.
No, they say a lot of times when you're going through some stuff, you got to tap into it. Don't be an ostrich.
Don't run away from it.
Yeah, because like 9 times out of 10, they say when people go through stuff and they disappear, you don't know how to address it the next time that you go through it because you disappeared. So you haven't built up that resilience or that tolerance for it. So the next time you go into it, it's worse. You know what I'm saying? What do they say? There's enemies of mental toughness, which is self-doubt, self-pity, your inner critic, fear, perfectionism, you know what I'm saying? Self-limiting beliefs. Like these are just enemies of it. So a lot of times when you get into those situations where somebody does want support, like we post cats and I don't care who we post. Like, why are you posting them? Because I want to. Well, they're not that. They're competition. They're not competition.
For what? Yeah.
They're not competition.
There's no such thing as competition.
It's another business that I want you to support. You know what I'm saying? You buy a bottle of water from here and from there and from there. Like it's another. Like spend your bread somewhere else.
Niggas still drink Aquafina. Make your water. Make your water. That's my point. Aquafina is not water.
Make your water.
And niggas drink it.
Make your water. That is the point of
that
today.
Was just random.
Make your water. Hey,
no, I'm just trying to piggyback what you say. Like people be thinking like just because you have more than one bottles of water in here that you're having stepping on each other. No, because everybody market their water differently.
There's so many resources, especially when I come. What'd you say, beautiful?
Bread example.
Oh, my bread. Yeah, that's a good point. My daughter just said, thank you, Goose. The bread aisle. When you go into the grocery store, and I've been saying this for a long time, when you go into the grocery store and you go to the bread aisle, there's 72 different types of, and you think they care about being on the same shelf with somebody? No, they don't care, dog.
They just want to be on the aisle.
They on the same. You bring
just want to be on the
me.
shelf.
Yeah. In the store, whatever.
You might. You know what? You might have sold a bad batch today.
Facts.
And now I'm right next to you, and they thought about you when you got a bad batch, and now they looking at me, and I'm like, hey.
What's up?
Or they talk to
their
neighbor. Or they talk to their neighbor.
No,
what if they talk to their neighbor? Their neighbor like, oh, I eat this bread. It makes me feel this. Nah, they go buy that bread now.
There's so many options, and it's just ridiculous because it's right in front of you, and there's no need to compete. It's crazy because I came out here and I'm like, damn, the young bulls out here. Like I say young bulls, but y'all cats is like between 20 something and 30 something. Like this young boy came through. He told me his story. He does music. He bought a box truck. I'm just watching youngins just do their thing. Like, and if I go back home, I mean, I know some people personally who don't got that hustle and got degrees on degrees, and they ain't got that hustle. They just happy to work that 9 to 5 for somebody to tell them what to do. But when I see the youngins out here, they just doing their thing, and then they supporting each other. Like, when Cousin Q did Black Link the Brand. Yo, tell me that wasn't beautiful. Tell me that's not love. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see out here, and that's just like, as an old head, you can't do nothing but just try to help to the best of your ability and be a if I got something that I can connect you with something, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Just elevate.
Hugh connected me to people. Michael Powell connected me to people. Hector Moran connected me to people. You know what I'm saying? Like Shark and Priest, when we used to work down at Fuel. Back in the day, that old y'all boys don't know nothing
Yeah,
about
you just
that.
saying names. I don't know about none of these old clubs and shit like that.
And that's what I'm saying. These people are people out here who backed off from everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they connected. And that was a web back then. Low Country was a web. You had lawyers and doctors and politicians and business owners all in that joint, dancing to Super Joe music.
So you're trying to give people what you had.
Exactly.
That's all it is. You're just basically, what you had, you don't want that to die. You don't want the opportunity of that to die. So as long as you're alive, that web will be alive and strong.
As long as I can put you on to something. That's when cats come in here, I'm going to shout you out. Hey, did you check out such and such from such and such and such and such? Because it's a black business. Oh, I didn't know you had that business. Like, closed mouth don't get fed. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, I don't know if you touched on, who did the mural?
Oh, my man's from high school. I went to a boarding school, Girard College. So I was there from 5th grade to 12th grade. And my man's was there too. He was there from 1st to 12th. So it's my man named Khalid Dennis. Has his twin brother. God rest his soul. This was his his ministry. Choosing higher over inferior changes everything. So I see that. And he blessed me with this mural. Came up here one weekend, him and his queen and his daughter, and then blessed me with this mural. Because I was like, yeah, I love his style. He was looking out for me when I was doing the John. And I was like, I love his style, and why not have somebody that I've known forever? And then, you know, my daughter's Jones is right behind y'all. Tough.
Dope artist.
And it's right behind you too, right? You see that coffee in the morning drink right there?
Right here? Okay.
Yeah, and then right behind you is Pothead.
I seen you putting those in place. I'm like, yeah, these special to him.
Pothead behind the pothead. The irony, I love it.
So my daughter got out of the commodity, and that's what she do. Like, I mean, it's just connecting people. Like, my wife works for ESPN, got 2 Emmys, black woman with an MBA, doing her thing. I mean, like, she connects people. She has mentees. She has, my daughter connects people. She works at the Argos. It's a connection.
I know they talk about the Argos.
I know they say about Nepo babies, but
I personally, I believe as long as you raise your kids right, there's nothing wrong with nepotism. I love it, to be honest with you.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with nepotism.
Listen, if you could put I think that's the point.
What's the point of building something for your own?
If you can't put your kids in a position, if my kid's an idiot.
You know a kid is a baby goat.
My child.
Technically speaking.
Yeah, I know, but all right. Okay.
Oh my God. Joke for the nerds.
Okay, all right, I got it.
But for real, what's the point of building something if you can't give it to the people you want to give it to?
What's the point?
Like, what's the point of saying this is mine if you can't act like it's yours?
Yeah, if I know,
maybe am I being ignorant?
If my child's an idiot, I might start him off at the bottom.
Look how many idiot children inherit shit already.
Yeah, but if my child's perfectly qualified and my child can do the task at hand and I trust them, I'm putting them in a position to win. And I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about that.
To me, it's like, I don't know, like just me, because I want to build something where I have the luxury to just do what the fuck I want. That's my freedom in life.
Fuck it, money.
Yeah. Not even, just fuck it.
Money. That's funny.
That's it.
It's just something. Who said that? Did Dave Chappelle say that? Or somebody else said that? I like the concept of it.
I waste money. My best times are enjoyed when I'm wasting money. I don't know if that makes sense to a lot of people, but that's just how I am. Sometimes you try something new. I try a new restaurant. I like trying new things. You might not gonna like the food every single time, but the experience to me is always gonna be worth that money that was for.
You know
what? You said you like wasted money?
Yeah, I said to me,
my daughter likes that.
To me, the best.
She like
my best times come from wasting money.
You wake up the next morning and you like, damn it!
You see these big ass boxes pull up in the crib, $300 of Sheen. Like, what you need this for?
They said $300 of Sheen. Got some big boxes.
That's a big box. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
what you need that for?
We ordered that much, and it came in like it came separate times for 3 weeks.
And that's what she said. She said, "Oh, that package was with the same package."
That's part one of the whole package.
Part one of 45.
And as you say, that's what money?
Fuck it money.
That's what she had. Little hats with ears on it, looking like looking like the little girl off of Bob's Burgers. You know what I'm saying? We talk about what is we really talking about?
We're talking money. That's comfortable right there.
I ain't gonna lie, that's the lifestyle I'm living for. I want to be able to do that. Why not? I want to go on Temu and just drop like $1,000 on Temu on just bullshit.
Just to try it out.
Just
break, whatever.
I want to go on Amazon and buy a house and put it in my backyard.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm into the tiny home thing too.
That's a great
idea. Yo, honestly, I'm at the point I'm gonna start looking into what land costs. I'm just gonna buy land now and just put a tiny home on that bitch, or I get a mobile home and just park that bitch out.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm at that point in my life where it's like, yo, I'm realizing society is making life not fun.
Pause on that.
I'm not talking about
the peripheral. Yeah, but it's crazy because I don't like doing this and I'm enjoying this. And I don't do this.
It's the balance of that.
But it's this that's created. Like, this is a beloved community. Like, you can go back to some principles, man. You create your own
that's
beloved
where I'm
community.
that's I'm finding my balance, because now that's why I get into my gardening, because now that's why I say I want to get land, because I'm about to buy my own chickens and shit and start raising everything.
I can't worry about peripherals. Like, this beloved community, if I wake up and see this, I don't care. I don't care what's happening. Like, you ever notice when you're on vacation, it's beautiful, but guess what? Somebody on that island is struggling, but you don't care. No. Where you at is beautiful.
It's all perspective.
So you're not sitting there being like, oh my God, they starving over there. No, you don't care. You love is beautiful at your resort.
Because I ain't starving.
So right here, this is beautiful. Damn, it's not that I don't care about what the peripheral is, because if you link, I'm gonna link you. You know what I'm saying? But society, this overarching idea that society is, there's a beloved community right here. Like, this joy that I feel right here doing this little podcast, and I keep saying I gotta correct myself.
You good?
No, I'm not good, because that word needs to come out of my vocabulary.
Well, no, I'm gonna check you because you checked me with the try word. I'm checking your ass. Fuck that. Because he's the reason why I'm cutting the word try out of my vocabulary, because we sat here and had a whole conversation about how the way you see yourself and the way you talk about yourself is the power that you put on yourself as well too.
So I need to stop saying
that's
little.
what I'm saying. This
massive podcast that I'm doing right now, I wouldn't do nothing like this. Like, cats know, whoever watching this know, I don't do this.
Everybody who knows. That's what I'm saying. That's why we feel honored to say you wanted to do this.
To actually laugh and like, this is me. You know what I'm saying? This
is top 2. This goes up there with our experience of when we got to smoke into Bucky Jones' smoke shop.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Something that nobody has ever done before.
Exactly. These are things that we're adding to our list of things that nobody can probably say they did.
Yeah, it's probably be the last one too. I ain't gonna hold you.
First and the last.
Listen,
that's cool with me.
I'm pretty sure ain't nobody else smoking weed at Bucky Jones' smoke shop ever again.
I'm cool with that. So I like the fact that we're building something to be able to say we can be the voice for you, that when you finally say you want to be like, all right, I want to talk something now. I want to say something now. Because I feel like you deserve to be heard, bro. Like, of all, I know you saying you don't want no shine, you want no light, but this is where the people from the outside say, fuck how you feel. We need to give the shine to you, because ain't no way you're going to put people in these rooms, open these doors for people, and then we're just going to be like, oh, we're not going to give him the credit because he don't expect. No.
Yeah, because we do say your name on the podcast a few times.
We shout you out a lot on the podcast, on some real shit. So I feel like there's a lot of people, there's not many people who deserve the praise that they do, but I feel like you do, because like you said, you're generally trying to build a community for people to grow. Why shouldn't you deserve the praise that you should get?
And you deserve it more because you don't want it.
Exactly. This is why somebody should just say, fuck how you feel for this moment. There's some times you need to just be like, you know what? This is your moment. On some real shit. Anybody who loves you and around you should give you the time to experience what it feels to just have that praise, because at the end of the day, you're still human being. Well, too. We want that praise too. We want that attention. And I know you know how to manifest it and harness it properly. So why don't you deserve it? If you know how to handle it and know what to do with it, why don't you deserve it as well too? Why should you shun yourself?
Or you just don't want it.
I don't want it.
It's not a matter of want. You deserve it.
It's like the thing that people ask me. They be like, that somebody asked this question. It's like, where would you, if there's a place you can go that you'd want to be, where do you want to go? Home. Well, what are you talking about? Not an island, not da-da-da. Home. Why? Because I know what I get. I know where to get up and go to the gym. Doomsday. I know where to go and you know what I'm saying? I know where I can go. I know where my food is. I know what they say. Go where you celebrate it,
not where you tolerate it.
what I'm saying? At least I can walk around and go to stores, and if I get a bad service, I can at least be like, yo, what's going on? And somebody be like, oh, you know what? My bad, yo.
I got you.
That's all I need. I don't need, listen, man, if I had a list when I was broke at 1626 Montrose Street, throwing diapers down the wall of a house with a mom who was a crackhead, drug addict, gone. If anything that I knew from back then, and I had a dream when she would be going for 2 or 3 days, locking up the refrigerator and everything, and it's just, we just struggling, trying to get some chicken from next door from Miss Ann, or going to the store. Like, I've done everything that I wanted to do.
Did you?
My daughter, I've done everything, dog. My daughter is grown and beautiful and intelligent. Like, my wife helped me get to where I am right now. Like, have I made mistakes? Yeah. Have I fucked up? Absolutely.
Personal question. When's the last time you went on vacation? See, you had to think about it. You need a fucking vacation.
Oh, I'm going. My vacation will be June 26th.
I'm
going to the Free the Homies retreat. So that's where I'm going.
Okay.
All
right.
You consider my vacation.
No, but I'm talking about with the family. Like, when was the last time you got away with the family?
Oh, you gonna make me get murdered on this one.
Yeah, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. Cause you do too
why
much.
you just do that, though?
Yeah,
I
that's
call you
crazy.
out all the time.
I know. And I look the same way you do right now.
We went to last year. We went to Vermont. We went and did a Tough Mudder as a family.
Nigga said we wet. Not we going. We wet.
The no is good. No, that was no vacation.
It wasn't home, so it was a vacation.
I think
You
that's
started
good.
some shit, bro. Why you
Yeah,
doing
dog. Easy.
Yeah, you do it to
Easy,
me in the
Lucy.
podcast, but my wife ain't sitting right there.
You
She
say
ain't.
beautiful?
Free the homies, huh?
That's crazy. Free the homie.
We can find some extracurricular excursions.
I did make a commitment to go to Colorado. So
I want to go to Colorado.
I don't know what I'm
But
going
not
there
for.
for.
I want to
Not-
go to Colorado
I-
for the weed.
what's that gonna do for me?
Nah,
Nothing.
it do something for me.
We
though.
can go skiing though. We go skiing. That's the white
Ooh,
side.
I want to do that.
That's the white side.
I want to.
They're reintroducing wolves into Colorado.
What the fuck?
What? Oh,
That-
my
I mean, it's just going to Colorado. Why would you say that?
That's random.
What you mean? That's our big thing. That's when you ain't see a wolf. That's cool, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
But you gonna pee on pet it?
I hope you don't. I hope you're in a car. Don't go next to that shit.
No, but so I'm just ask this as well too. Like, do you feel like you stopped growing?
No, because my growth now is in planting more and more seeds. That's
Okay.
that's what I love. I love being able to till this web garden, to plant seeds and just watch it keep growing. Like, you got the vegan cookout coming up. I want to be in service. When Splash is doing all his events, I want to be in service. When people are doing stuff, I just want to be in service. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Use what I know so you don't have to use your brain power, and let me take care of it on the back end. Mm-hmm. So while you get to do what you have to do, I do what needs to be done in the background.
Think smarter, not harder, stupid.
So I just want to be of service now. Just let me be of service to, like, you know what I'm saying? If you need something, I got you. I don't need to do anything more for myself.
How do you rejuvenate yourself though?
The gym, Doomsday. What, you kidding me?
That
man, Doomsday is therapy, bro.
That sounds intimidating.
Coach is the man, because when you go in there, he gonna challenge you. He ain't gonna kiss your ass. He ain't gonna butter you up. He ain't gonna tell you do good. You're doing a good job. No, get to it. You sure you did that? You sure you did full reps? You sure you did full range? Like, just get to this. Just get to this work and be consistent.
That's your only form of rejuvenation. There got to be something else.
Oh man, getting back to my bed. Mm-hmm. When I wake up in the morning, I be like, man, I can't wait to get back to this bed.
Oh my god, that's my favorite thing in the morning. It's be like, I'm going to sleep later.
Nigga, I want to get out of bed as soon as I wake up.
I get up. When I'm up like 4:30.
That's how early you wake up?
Yeah, I mean, it just becomes.
He said, yeah, like, why the
like,
fuck
that's a
don't
normalized.
you?
Yeah.
Why the fuck you don't wake up at 4:30?
Like, you wake up at 9?
Lazy
Shame on
ass
you.
nigga. Lazy ass niggas waking up at 6.
Nigga, I had breakfast, worked out, took a nap, and woke up again. Nigga, what you did?
Because you get so many decisions in the day, right?
Nah,
you get but so many decisions in the day. If I wake up in the morning and I don't have to talk to anybody, I don't have to make a decision about a conversation. I get to Doomsday, The running part for me is miserable. So if I'm doing the hardest stuff, the most physical stuff, and I don't even have to talk to you, and I don't even have to listen, I don't have to think. You go in there, coach tells you what to do.
You're an introvert low key, huh? You're fucking introverted as hell. Don't deny it.
You don't have to talk to nobody. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, bypass that. You don't have to do anything. And then by the time I'm done at the gym, if I feel like this is the hardest thing I've done, now I didn't make any decisions. And now I get to my day. I usually get home. The house is very peaceful. I hear some music, maybe some Andre 3000 flute music or something, like some Yame.
Some new Andre.
Some flute music, some Yame, Bacante, something. Come to the crib.
Something
some cool. You know what I'm saying? And then I start making decisions. Mm-hmm. So from 4 to like 7:30, I don't have to make any decisions.
You're like an autopilot.
So
I love that.
Who can you say that that's not good? The house is quiet. The dog is still asleep. So
you're doing something right if the dog still asleep.
So what I'm saying is like, yes, that at this age, that is peace to me.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I don't club, I don't go out, I don't need to do all that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to turn up, I don't need attention, I don't need this, I don't need that. I just enjoy the basic things. I like when somebody call me and be like, hey, da-da-da-da-da, what's going on, yada, yada, yada. What is your opinion about this? Then I flip it back on you. Well, what do you think? How do you think about that? Well,
I don't like people like you that
that's
do that.
What fills me.
Like, nigga, I called you for your advice. Don't ask me how I feel about it.
But it's advice, but why not use your own cognitive thinking to develop it yourself? Because if I'm not, like when I'm dealing with the young people at Aerospace and at GA, this is what I did out here, deal with the youngins. Like a lot of the cats watching this now remember me when they was youngins. And it's like, yo, that dude was an asshole. No, it wasn't that. I was just holding you to a standard that I knew that you needed to be held to, and keeping you responsible for the behavior that I knew you were capable of.
And more importantly, nobody else was doing.
So I'm not just going to sit here like for summer youth employment, I'll fire you. And I tell you I'm going to fire you. Mm-hmm. And then I fire you for real. It's not because I'm trying to be a douche, but it's just because like you need to figure it out.
He for real. He ain't even tell me he was going to call me back. He for real was like,
by the end of the day, you're still an asshole on the outside.
At the moment,
it sounds so well. I'm trying to make you a better person.
At the moment, I was heartbroken. I learned later in life. Yeah, I appreciate it.
This one dude, I'm not going to put his name out there, but he knows who he is. He came in for a bartending position, and I asked him a couple questions. I asked him about one particular drink. He didn't know the recipe for the drink. I was like, well, you could be a barback. You can't be a bartender. Like, because you don't know this drink, you could be a barback. He became a barback. Then he became a bartender. Then he became a business owner. Then he became a real estate person, like owning massive properties. Became a firefighter. His portfolio is massive to this day. And he used to work back then and work another gig, like a medical job. And he was a hustler and a grinder. So I sit back now and complete all of this brother, of all of his portfolio of work, of his entire resume. But at that time, it wasn't just to be you know what I'm saying? It was like you're just not going to get a pass. Mm-hmm. Because I wasn't expected to just get a pass. You know what I'm saying?
I just realized you brag differently. You brag differently.
What do you mean?
You don't brag about your accomplishments.
You brag about the accomplishments he had exactly. For other people. You brag about the accomplishments he had helped other people to get to.
He's like, you brag different. You don't brag about yourself. You brag about how other people.
You know what I mean? So I helped this dude start his business up, and he own all this
stuff.
Look what he had now.
But it's not. No, I didn't. No.
I'm joking.
I didn't do nothing. But what I'm saying is,
you only created an opportunity. They made the best out of it.
Yeah,
like I said, it's
that's
a
all
mindset.
You can do for somebody.
It's a mentality that you foster with people. Mm-hmm. And me and him have mad conversations every night when we was at Pure. But it's fostering the understanding. And so that you see yourself, what did I say? Self-awareness, imagination, consciousness, and will. It's those things that you instill in somebody and you're looking at that person, it's like, yo, you become a fan. I'm a fan of Splash. I'm a fan of Mike. I'm a fan of Whitney. I'm a fan of Matt. I'm a fan of Flea. I'm a fan of P. I'm a fan of people.
Can we use a slash word with that? A supporter. You're not just a fan,
it's
you're a
supporter, but...
Because to me...
fans are supporters.
I get that. There's a balance though. When you're a fan, sometimes a fan just observe you and just like you from the outside. when you share my shit, you purchase my stuff, you go out of your way to make sure I'm seeing you're supporting me. So you're graduated from a fan now. You're a supporter.
We can split hairs.
Nah, I like that.
Because I tell you, this Bulls fans is spending lots of bread on him. This Bulls fans is spending lots. They bought them little Young Mean sneaks. You know what I'm saying? They bought the golden butters.
I know, but they fan / supporter at that point.
They bought the golden butters. You know what I'm saying? They bought the Young Mean, the Tibble, the Trump Bible. You know what I'm saying?
That's just everything.
You see what I'm saying? So like, what I say is when I see somebody and then I see the progression. Because you can't take credit for anybody's struggle. You can't take credit for anybody's success. You stand there.
And then you can't ride coattails.
Niggas be doing that. Niggas be riding coattails. And that's
Once
not cool,
again,
bro.
you got to step into their trauma. And that's why I say you can't. Everybody has a story and everybody has a trauma.
But not everybody wants their story to be heard. That's the problem as well, too. Because you can have trauma, but you have to be willing to heal and be willing to work on it.
What if they never taught, never know how? Nobody was ever like, I understand working with young people, how difficult and how traumatized people can be. And sometimes you never had an environment that fostered that, which means you never knew how to gravitate towards that environment because somebody's always seen you from the outside, and instead of really trying to tap into it, they didn't have the time for it. So they see the trauma because the trauma manifested itself in a different way, and instead of tapping into them and trying to give them or allowing yourself to give them some sort of way out of it, you just typecast.
That's why I'm glad there's people like you, because I ain't got the time. I ain't got time to guide
everybody
people
doesn't have
through their
time,
trauma.
but I'm just saying that beloved community creates that opportunity where there's this internal violence that we generally have, most of us, and it's because of trauma. So there's this internal violence that then again manifests itself outwardly.
I get that, but I believe in accountability. If you're gonna fuck up,
there is accountability, and I'm not taking that away from nobody.
That's my main thing, because a lot of people don't take no accountability for they fuck up.
Well, there's egregious actions. Those are decisions. You're responsible for that decision.
Yeah, exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So once you flip the corner on that, you're responsible. But at the end of the day, there's still something. Like cats that got locked up, there's something.
I'm not denying that, but at the end of the day, results and consequences is still going to result from whatever actions you choose.
But that's why I like what Splash is doing. That's why Splash is doing therapy or something therapeutic. What he wrote the book first, right? Most cats ain't going to read his book. Even though it's written like Pimp by Iceberg Slim, they ain't going to read it. Even though it has the same format as the 48 Laws of Power, they still not going to read it. So he came up with a card game. If you ain't going to read the book, play these cards. Ask these questions at a family outing. Oh, you still don't want to read a card and play a card game? Wear this gear. Just wear this gear so subconsciously you see this word, seek therapy, all the time, and it's drip. So now I'm putting you on to something different. Now I want you to seek therapy or do something therapeutic because you don't have the means by which to understand there's a different perspective of everything, right? People in prison have that, and there's no changing them because we have a community. But sometimes we just got to pour into people because there's a force that's behind it. It's not the person, but there's a force. Donald Trump is a person. He was changed by the force. So all these other cats around him, it's not about him. It's about the force. I want this bread. If I go against you, I'm not going to get this money. Everybody who backed him basically created a check for themselves. They had a bag. They know they're going to get a bag. As soon as they go against him, the bull Larry Hogan went against him. And they was like, yo, you know what? You just killed your career.
No, you're over.
Just by saying, if the results come out, whatever the verdict is, let's just chill. Oh, you just killed your career. They said, oh, you going to support him? Oh, well, he shouldn't be respected by anybody. What? That's people trying to get to that bag because there's a force. There's this force of things. What you're talking about, there's a force that surrounds us as a people. So we're attacking people instead of that force that created this mentality, this energy that comes into us. This energy changes once you start having conversations. You have like-minded energies. That's why your circle is who your circle is. That's why your friends are who your friends is. That's why you gravitate who you gravitate towards. Because all of a sudden there's connectivity and there's synthesis between ideas and understandings and perspectives.
I know, but not everybody have the patience to deal with it from everybody, especially once you outgrow it. Sometimes it's a reminder where you've been.
You don't have to have the patience. You don't have to have the patience.
It's just like what you said.
And that's what I'm saying. You also don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, but it's also like what you say. It's know your friend, save a headache.
Exactly. It's either if you're gonna choose to be around this, you have to accept it for what it is, or get away from it.
But you can still be pleasant in your...
No, yeah, never. Yeah. But at that point, that's a reflection on you as a person.
Yeah, because you chose.
How you react to something, regardless of how you receive it, that's a reflection on you at that point, not the person itself. Because at the end of the day, you can't change how other people act when it comes to how they deal with things. Everybody handled, like you said, their trauma differently. But again, I still have the will to be like, I don't got time for that.
Yeah, I mean, what do they say? There's steps to this. Information gathering is the first step. You gathering information. So if I'm sitting here and you're doing whatever, like when you do a podcast, you gather information on your guest. Mm-hmm. Are they going to be suitable? Will they have the right personality? Will they have the right energy? Will they get us the clicks, the views? Will it have good content? Will it have depth? You know what I'm saying? So you gather information. Then you start educating yourself on the subject matter. Okay, this is what that is. Then you make a personal commitment. I'm going to reach out to this bull and get this bull over here. Then you have a negotiation. Can you want to come on the podcast? Da-da-da-da-da. Now it goes through that cycle. You get what I'm saying? So the direct action is, boom, we're going to do this podcast. Then you reconcile at the end if something went wrong. But the beginning step is the information gathering and educating yourself. Then you make a personal commitment to do what you're going to do. So if I say, you know what, this cat, I've been seeing this dude all the time, and something's not right with this dude. Patience is one thing. But if I say, you know what, what's going on with this cat? Why are you acting funny? Because you all know somebody that's been around you and they act funny for a little bit. Then you find out something traumatic happened that they never resolved, and nobody ever asked because nobody ever cared. Because I got to do my own thing, dog. But they're right in front of you every day, right? Like the proverbial old person getting mugged and robbed and people just walking past while he's screaming for help.
See, I go through the opposite of that because I'm one of those people, I don't do small conversations. I only have conversations like to start off with, and I realize that not a lot of people even want to be there. They don't want to have those conversations with themselves. It's not just having a conversation with me. At that point, they're confronting themselves when it comes to those conversations. So I get where other people are coming from, but I don't know. I feel like the aura I give off and the energy that I receive, because I'm very particular with my diet. My diet is not just what I consume. It's the people I'm around, the conversations that I have. I'm very particular with that. So the energy that I give out, I feel like that brings certain people towards me as well too. So I don't know. I just don't like wasting my time on people who don't want to grow. And I feel like after a while, you realize putting your energy in certain people who's not that point or ready for growing yet is a waste of your time eventually.
I respect that. Mm-hmm. I respect that.
That's why I'm thankful for people like you who have the platform and that community to give them the opportunity to have that conversation within themselves.
But that goes back to the thing that I said. I don't want attention. I don't want to be in the front. If I don't have to deal with that of my energy being usurped, then I have much more energy in the background. Because now I don't have to play this game in the front. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't care how you perceive me in the front, because I'm in the back now. I don't have to. Remember, they say that there's all these iterations and renditions of you, depending on how you were domesticated, right? So how he sees you and how I see you is two different iterations. Yes. Then you have your own iteration of yourself. How do you manage those iterations? Which one do you want to be? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't keep yourself in public, you don't have to manage it. You don't have to manage this profile.
That's what I'm saying. Why manage it if you're just focusing on what you want to build for yourself? But maybe that's the selfish. Maybe that's the simple. It do, but I realize sometimes you have to think about it that simple.
It's like somebody saying, "Why don't you just fast for 72 hours every week?" Seems simple
until you actually do it.
Until you actually get into that second hour, and you're like,
"Yeah, man, I'm hungry."
You see what I'm saying? But I think it's, as they call it, self-work. Right, you know what I'm saying? So there's determinalisms, which is what makes you who you are. You have these determinalisms. There's a psychic determinism, genetic determinism, environmental. The psychic part of it is how your parents raised you.
Right.
The genetic is how your parents were raised. And environmental was your just
nature,
basic.
It's a society.
Right.
Yeah.
So these are all the determinalisms that make you who you are. You have to figure out who you are after that. Like, you have to break free based on
there's a base version of what you're going to be, but you determine the specifics after that. Basically.
As they say, it's how you're domesticated. How you were domesticated. But then as you change your environment, you domesticate yourself a different way. Like, I see these the boys over there, most of it they say, oh, you know, men of color don't take care of their youngins. But I'm like, where?
First of all my friends are great dads.
I ain't never seen
where.
it.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Where?
Anytime people say that, I'm like, wait, every one of my male friends take care of their kids. I don't know what you're talking about.
And that's environmental. Where? Because I know a bunch of cats out here who they like, nah, you can't bang with us, you can't rock with us if you
don't take care of your kids.
I ain't got no words for you, dog. Like, go do, like,
facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's how everybody I am around is like same way. I've never met anybody differently, so I don't know how.
So
at least I think personally.
And that's why I think when you circle back, right? Why do I do what I do in this space? Why am I here in this space? One, because I was afforded an opportunity by Hugh Russell. Straight off the rip. He had something, he trusted me. Straight off the rip. I rode with him for a long time, and basically I wanted to take blows for him. I wanted to protect him the entire time so that he can be as creative and as passionate as he could be about his craft, so that I could try to stop things from coming at him, and then help him to understand what was going on around him as he's building his legacy that he has now created and solidified on his own. You know what I'm saying? So whatever I could do to help. And coming from that, he built me a network. You know what I'm saying? I ran into people like I was telling you about. So that's what built me a network. And I'm like, yo, this network of dudes that I hung around and kind of poured into me, like, yo, these dudes was thorough. Like, they was some thorough dudes, and they still hit me up to this day, and they really thorough. Why can't I do that as an old head? Why can't I be that old head? You know what I mean?
Fact.
But just keep myself in the back.
Like how we becoming the new uncles.
Right?
And not throwing out cookouts and grilling this shit.
Yeah, we gotta step up. Hey, man, our generation, we gotta step it up, man. We really slipping. We ain't got nobody out there with no open toes, sandals, no marinas on, nothing. Y'all wildin', man. Telling y'all.
Facts. Niggas not giving their nephews and nieces money when they come over to visit.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Like,
sneaking like sneaking the 16-year-old like a cooler or something like that. Yo, here, take a sip, bro.
Don't tell your mother.
That don't happen no more. It is
I don't know. Jamaican families on the other end, I don't know. Jamaican families, I think they kind of still rocking.
Nah, that's what I'm talking about. It ain't
if you still have that type of grandparents.
Yeah, if you got the type of it's the grandparent.
That's the privilege though to still have that.
If you don't have the grandparent that's gonna have the house to bring everybody together,
the glue,
then
everybody need a mas porbito.
Yeah,
everybody needs a mas porbito.
But a lot of us lost our glue. Yeah. That's why shit changed. That's why shit's changing.
Yeah, God rest his soul. Everybody need a mas porbito.
Facts. Anybody got closing words before we go? Any closing thoughts? We're an hour and a half in.
My closing words is: if you ain't qualified, don't go to the fucking interview. That's it. Anybody else?
I just feel like that spoke volumes right there.
Don't go.
My closing words is always forward. Always forward. Life is 80-20. So everybody looks at the 20% that they want, but forget about the 80% that is sustained. So you always got to be forward thinking, always forward. So 80-20 is the numbers. You can always look for that 20% that looks good, but that 80% is what sustains you. So just always forward, 80-20, and support the web.
Right.
Support the web.
I ain't got nothing positive to say. The only thing I gotta say is just do what the fuck you want to do. As long as you don't harm nobody, it's not illegal. Just do what the fuck you want to do. Life is fucking short already.
I agree with that statement.
So if you want to go to that interview, if you know you ain't got no experience, and look like a fucking idiot, it's a story.
It's a memory.
For when you're interviewing the guy that did it to you.
Exactly. Real shit. And my only positive thing is the moment that you're in right now is not the entirety of your life. That's all I would say. So don't let what you're going through right now define every single thing.
Perfect. Let them know where this place is right now, this beautiful establishment is, where they can follow you, and anything else you want to let them know.
So we are at 881 New Britain Avenue, right down the street from Walmart.
The name.
You know what I'm saying?
I just had to, I got
if you can't find us, just look up our name.
Avenue. You could find us on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. 881 8.80.1. So follow us. You know what I'm saying? Come check us out. Come get a young boy. Come get an old head. Come get a Chinese sandwich.
I'm about to say, because I'm kind of
get a cheesesteak. Like, we got vegan food. We got vegan chili. We got chickpeas. We got vegan sandwiches. We got wings. We got our garlic butter Parmesan wings. Just come check us out. Come get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Let's look out for you.
Facts.
Facts.
Some Philly flair with some island flavor. You already know. Follow us everywhere as well too. WNWPod on Instagram and Weed and Whiskey everywhere else, because fuck these social media places trying to box us. You're not gonna fucking shut me up. You'll never silence me. I am a free man.
And even if you do, I'm still gonna be talking, you bitch. That was good.